Hey guys, hope you're doing well. My name is Matt and I'm here with Stefan.
Hi guys.
And today we're gonna look at some higher time frame charts. Just before we start, I would like to say that this is not financial advice and you should only trade if you are experienced. And now let's get on to the charts. So I think we'll start talking about the Bitcoin chart on the monthly, which I think looks absolutely amazing. What do you think?
Yes, I think it looks really well. I think that we could go higher if we close this month above the previous resistance for sure.
Yeah, so as I said in the last video, I think this whole thing is a deviation below the support. And now I think we just broke this resistance. So the natural next target would be either 28k or maybe 35k. But I like the weekly target more. I'm going to show you the chart real quick. I think this 32k is a great level to take some profits if you're in a long. And I also think that, all right, so I think the target on the weekly is around 32k, but just be careful for this resistance, which I don't think is as strong, but we could just turn around somewhere in this box.
Yeah.
Well,
I believe so. Yeah, like this level could hold us for some time and then we maybe break it to 32k and we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But now I think as long as we close above this 24k level, we should just head on straight towards 30k, maybe 32k. And I think it's just a great level to take some profits. Maybe if we close back in this weekly range, just get back into the trades above this and to wait for some higher prices. But well, that's about the weekly. On the daily, we can just see this whole thing was just a deviation. We even front ran this daily support, which is really bullish because in a market that buys before it goes to the supports, it means that the market is really strong and people just want to buy. And talking about front running supports, we even front ran this one. So I think in general, the whole crypto market, or at least the Bitcoin chart, looks really bullish for the next few weeks. And I think there's just no need to worry. What do you think? Are you also bullish?
Yeah, I believe so. Like it depends on this weekly candle. I mean, like I want to be bullish, but like every single time I'm bullish, something bad happens and we we don't close the way we want it. But if we close this weekly above the 24 or something, I don't know the level exactly, but if we close above, there is a likely chance that we would hit 29k and maybe like 32. That's your target.
Yeah, so I think that's about the Bitcoin charts, and I think let's just move on to some other charts that we really liked.
Also, if I may, I think that if you're not in the trade so far, it's pretty hard to tell you where to open right now. But I think the weekly the weekly close above the resistance is not so bad open. Like you can easily close invalidation back when we close under it, like the next weekly.
Yeah.
And it won't be a bad stop loss, and also like a good 20% target. So I think it's not a bad buy, but it's better to be in a trade for sure right now.
Yeah, I also think so. So let's get on to ETH now. I think ETH also looks great, considering this could just be this is a deviation below this wall support, and now we're heading straight for the next resistance. I think we break this one. This doesn't look like a strong level, and I think that if Bitcoin continues to run, we also break this one, and we could just head on towards maybe even 2,500, something like that. I think the more important chart though is ETH against Bitcoin, because you just want to make more profits. Well, this is about the weekly. I don't think the monthly chart on ETH looks great, so I'm not even gonna look at that. Okay, I think we can just get on to the daily. Well, on the daily chart, you can see that this low has been taken out and we ran straight up ever since. We even, if we close today like this, it's in higher high, which is just great. It even actually might have, yeah, it was close. So I think this looks as well as Bitcoin. But I don't think ETH Bitcoin looks as bullish, so I'm more bullish on Bitcoin. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. There is not much to say. Let's move to ETH BTC and see what what is going on there?
On the ETH Bitcoin weekly, I think it's just this range as I talked about in the last video. There's not much more happening on the weekly chart. As long as we hold the midpoint, we could just bounce back up, maybe even break this time. I think we already had enough retests, like 1, 2, this is deviation, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, another deviation. So I think once we get back up, we just break the level and just ETH goes way higher than Bitcoin does, or like against Bitcoin, which would just be really nice and a really good trade to take. But let's get on to the daily, because on the weekly there's not much happening. So on the daily, I think this wall green box is a good support that should hold us. I don't really know about this level, but as you can see, we just have a high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Now we could be forming a higher low, which would be pretty bullish, and we could just start turning around slowly. It would even mean that we bounced kinda from the midpoint, and it would start looking really good. So just maybe either wait for a higher high somewhere around here, maybe this level, and then you can just get on to some ETH trades, I think.
Yeah, I have really similar opinion on this. I think that in next bull market there is a huge chance that ETH would outperform Bitcoin easily, and I think it is better to be in ETH rather than Bitcoin long term. But for me right now, I've got most of my money in Bitcoin until we form higher high on ETH BTC. I'll stay in Bitcoin, and once we do that, I'll probably move my money to ETH. And I think that if this is an actual bull run start, I think there is a huge potential to outperform Bitcoin in ETH.
Yeah, I agree. Also, there's the new narrative in ETH with the ETH 2.0 being released half a year ago, that ETH is just deflationary, which I don't really think is that necessary, but it's just going to be a good thing to talk about in the bull run, and it's just going to get people to buy more ETH than Bitcoin, I think. Also, we can see like this. I think this trend line, or say this one, I think it's a good one. We could maybe even just look back at it, just do a retest, and then go up. But I think in general, ETH is gonna outperform Bitcoin in the next bull market also. So yeah, I think that's about ETH. And now let's get on to the smaller coins, which we liked. I want to talk about Matic, which I think is really interesting. If we just look at these lines here, I don't think this one is as good. Maybe if you take the wall wick, it's not as bad. But just if you think about this as a range, it finally broke out of the range, and now we're just going straight up. There's not really much to stop us until somewhere about here. Maybe these levels, these are pretty strong, but now Matic looks great, and if the wall rally continues, I think we just go higher here. That's about the weekly. On the daily, I think there's this range, which broke out a while ago. You even made new highs, so yeah, I think there's still some potential upside, but we're starting to run into some resistance, so be careful on this one. Yeah, what do you think?
As I see you charting it, it looks really well. I think that we'll go higher in next few weeks if also like Bitcoin rally continues. So
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's a great coin to be in, and maybe we could check it out against Bitcoin, so we would have a clearer picture if it's good open.
Yeah, let's do that. Well, against Bitcoin, I think this looks way better than against the dollar, because you just have this range. We can check it on the monthly, where you still have this range, and it just broke out and it's going for new highs. So there's really no levels to target now. I just think we make new highs. The one level to look at now, I think, is this one, and we should be waiting for a close above this if we really want to get in. But once we do close above this, it's just a price discovery action against Bitcoin, and at that point, it just looks great.
Yeah, I agree. I think it looks really good on monthly too. We had two fake outs kind of on monthly, if I'm right. So I think there is a huge chance that it won't happen again, and we would rise.
Yeah. So in general, Matic also looks great against Bitcoin. So yeah, I think let's get on to the next one. The next coin we like, or chart-wise, is One. Well, you basically have these levels. You have this one, holding as support for a while, then this wall thing as a deviation, then you reclaim the support, and I think we could break this. We could break this resistance pretty easily if Bitcoin just continues the rally. You have some kind of a midpoint here. Also, maybe just buy some retest, but it already retested it a few times, so I don't think we get any other retest here. But I want to show you the chart against Bitcoin, because that looks way better than this one. The chart against Bitcoin is basically this one. You have this level, which has been pretty strong for a while now. And now we just reclaimed it and even retested it. So I think we just head on straight for these levels.
Yeah, I just want to say that we've charted this coin for some time, and it's so funny because Matt always says that he would open and never does that. And it's kind of funny because like every day he doesn't open, the coin makes like 12%. So yeah, I remember you telling like 10 times that you would open the trade and you've never done it. So I hope you'll get in right now and we would go higher.
Yeah.
How much percent is it?
Yeah, so against Bitcoin it's 75, which I think is like a huge target. Maybe we don't get all the way there. I mean, if it goes well, we could even do that. But still, if you take some lower levels, I mean, there's not really many levels to target in between this and this. You might just take the range midpoint as a target, maybe. But I mean, it's just not a level. It's just a midpoint, a random line on the chart. So there's really no need to take profits. And I'm really thinking about opening this one in the next few days. And I think my exit would either be this level or just some new range forming on the daily, meaning doing something like this. And then if you just break the range, I would be out here. But yeah. But that's about it. I just really like the weekly chart on One. Yeah, so in conclusion, I think that Bitcoin looks great as long as we close above this one. I think ETH looks great also, but it's a bit weaker than Bitcoin. And as long as we don't break some key levels on the daily on ETH Bitcoin, I'm not really getting in any ETH trades because I like the Bitcoin ones more. Talking about Matic, I think that Matic Bitcoin is gonna go into price discovery and could outperform Bitcoin even more in the next few weeks. And One, I think, is just gonna... I don't think it necessarily hits this target, but I think it just goes way up from this level. So that's about the conclusion here, I think. And tell me what you guys think, what coins you like in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Yeah, see you guys. Bye.